not a linear movie, it's a non-linear movie. And there are ups and downs, much like the crescents and the troughs of a wave, which he showed on the board. As the film progresses, the color sequences become more objective and the black and white sequences become more subjective. The protagonist is an unreliable narrator because of the loss of memory. He lives within the world of his mind and distrusts reality. On account of his inability of storing new memories, he uses notes, tattoos, photos for remembering events in his life. At the end of the film, the color and the black and the white sequences merge together, forming a single narrative. The two narratives merge together. The two narratives merge before the end of the film. Since narrative is a representation of reality, the narratives stand for two realities. It points to postmodern condition that reality is relative. Finally, the two narratives combine into one and become a colored narrative. The film progresses as a single narrative thereafter. The end of the film is in fact the middle of the story. This means that reality is uncertain, unpredictable, unreliable. It also means that reference points like center, beginning, middle, end are meaningless. And a story, and I quote, a story should have a beginning, middle, and an end, but not necessarily in that order. This was Jean-Luc Godard, the famous French director. And this is what memento is. The relative distancing of the past events themselves is confusing and unreliable. The two narratives therefore contrast and contradict each other. Each one points to the distinctness and limitedness of the other. The narrative framework is essentially meta-narrative. There are also meta-fictive elements in both the narratives. The black and white narrative also narrates the story of Sammy Andrews, which is played by Stephen Jordan, who also had anterograde amnesia, and the color narrative narrates the fragmented story of his deceased wife. The black and white narrative, color narratives move in a non-linear manner, thus enhancing the effect of the movie. Leonard is disillusioned at the end of the film and starts to doubt and question his own action. When he tries to view the world objectively, he is filled with doubt and suspicion. He even doubts whether it is he who killed his own wife. Finally, he deceives himself by convincing that the corrupt officer, Teddy, is the murderer, and he picks down and he tattoos the number on his body to kill him. The sci-fi Interstellar in 2014 is about the race to save humanity as Earth uses food and life sustainability. This film again is also very relevant in today's scenario, considering the ecological disasters that we are facing. To ensure the future of human life, Cooper and other space scientists use interstellar time travel to journey through a wormhole in search of other planets that may sustain life. The race is on between space travel and time on Earth, where Cooper's daughter Murphy is trying to solve the problem of life sustainability. The endurance consists of Amelia Brand, Doyle, Romilly, and they have two plans. Either to solve gravitational theory to create space settlement or starting life on a new planet with frozen human embryos. I will end, since Kire has joined, I will end very quickly. After disaster and death, Cooper sends his ship into the black hole to provide gravitational answers for Murphy, and he falls into a fifth dimension tesseract, where time is another dimension. Tesseract represents a tiny physical space, displayed as Murphy's bedroom, where he can send the life-changing information of gravity. Cooper sees his past self in Murph's room. He realizes he sent himself the GPS coordinates in the past through the tesseract and uses its gravity to send information to an adult Murph. And finally, so I am ending since Kire is here. So finally, towards the end of Interstellar, he comes back to the Earth, where Murph is now an old woman because 23 years have passed. And he wants to be with Murph. He does not know that Murph is dying, but Murph is very happy that he was here during her time. And she insists that he goes back to the planet where he had left Dr. Amelia, which is played by Anne Hathaway, and go find her so that they can start a new life. I am concluding. Nolan's films Memento and Interstellar are masterpieces of postmodernist films, which incorporate most of the characteristics of text. Both of them blur the borders between reality and illusion. They take the audience to the worlds of unrivaled fantasy. They point to the problematic of representing reality, especially the complexity of pure simulation. Both films are meta-narrative. Filmic narrative is an intersectional space complementing genre, dream, and fantasy. Films prove that reality is a matter of perspective and meaning is unstable. They also prove that meaning is also a play of signifiers and it is the audience who construct the meaning of the films. The multiple voices in both films create a sense of uncertainty and confusion regarding the identity of the narrator or the protagonist and the authenticity of his experience. The protagonists are in quest for the self, which is enigmatic. As they fail to distinguish between reality and illusion, the quest remains unfulfilled. It points to the complexity of life as a riddle which the filmmaker tries to unwrap. So there are disjointed narratives, there is altered reality in the films of Christopher Nolan, and there time bending techniques are used, the reality is shifted, and of course there is Australia and demon has to shine. Both the movies are visual feasts, and they are visually stunning. Once you watch the movie, you kind of realize the technologies Nolan is using to enhance the effect of it, doing the subtext and translate in both movies. Thank you so much for this time and then thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Probably this is going to be the first address on film studies, focusing on film studies in this conference forum. So thanks for touching upon the new dimension. Yeah, hello. So thanks a lot for joining us and for enlightening the audience. We are having students over here from various disciplines and they might be aware about this film studies as a new genre of postmodernism. And we are glad to listen to you. Now it's over to Dr. Easterine Kire from Norway. And ma'am, the stage is all yours.
Good afternoon. Am I audible? Okay. Yes, first apologies to Madam Nino because you have to rush through your paper. So I hope you get the opportunity to speak again.
It's alright.
I won't take much time. I just want to give my greetings to the Achievers Foundation for English Studies. And I was asked to give my blessing to the foundation, but I'll just share a thought before I do that. And I want to actually ask the students a question. And the question is, how do you read a book? How do you read a book? I speak as a writer, and as a writer, it saddens me that many students approach reading very uncreatively. So I want to say, please don't do that, because when you read uncreatively, it's an injustice to the writer and to the book. And what is uncreative writing? Uncreative reading? I'll try to explain it. It is coming to a book with preconceived expectations and assumptions about what you're going to find in the book. So it doesn't work that way. And I want to say that I would like to urge you to read books creatively. As an example, I want to say that books or writing from the Northeast are not homogeneous. The writers there's a tendency to class all the writers of the Northeast together, but it doesn't mean that they're all writing about the same thing or focusing on the same problem. They all come from different angles and different perspectives. So do justice to the writer by learning to read creatively. Then I want to also add that the blessing that I want to give you is I pray that you will receive wisdom, because I know that knowledge will come by your effort and by the efforts of your teachers. But wisdom is a very special gift. I pray that you will receive wisdom to get original thinking, because that's how you can live your creativity to the fullest. So I bless you, and may God greatly bless you. Thank you.
Hello.
He has winded up.
Hello. In a very nutshell, the chief guest of the day, she addressed how to approach to a book and how to respond to a book. Many a times we are panic about a book. We don't look at a book as